What if Anakin rejected Palpatine's Jedi Council appointment? Let's explore the depths of it in the video.
I hope you trust me, Anakin.
Of course.
I need your help, son.
What do you mean?
I'm depending on you
For what? I don't understand.
to be the eyes, ears, and voice of the Republic. Anakin, I'm appointing you to be my personal representative on the Jedi Council.
Me? A master?
Palpatine smiles faintly, thinking he has Anakin exactly where he wants him.
Of course, my boy. You've earned it, Anakin. The Council would be foolish not to recognize what you are.
But I thought such appointments were made by the Council, not the Chancellor.
The Council is political, like everything else in this war. They serve agendas, not justice. You've given everything to this order, to the Republic. And what have they given you? Distrust, doubt. This is not merely a promotion, Anakin. It's what you deserve.
I don't want a seat given to me as a favor. That's not the way of the Jedi.
It's not a favor. It's recognition. You're more powerful than any of them, and they know it. That's why they hold you back. But I see you, Anakin. I always have.
Anakin turns, looking out at the city skyline. His jaw clenches. You want me to sit on the Council, but not as a Jedi. As your eyes and ears. A spy. Palpatine doesn't deny it. Instead, he speaks slowly, deliberately.
The Jedi do not trust you. Why should you trust them? You and I, we bring balance, Anakin. We bring peace. But only if we're honest about the corruption standing in our way.
Anakin turns back to him, gaze sharp. If there's corruption, I'll face it with the Jedi. Not above them. Not behind their backs. Palpatine's expression darkens, just slightly. Controlled, but calculating.
You're making a mistake, Anakin.
No. The mistake would be pretending I haven't seen what this war is doing to all of us. I won't betray what I still believe in. Not like this. A tense silence stretches between them. Then Palpatine exhales slowly, his smile returning. Colder now.
As you wish, my boy. But one day, the Jedi will force your hand. When they do, remember who gave you a choice.
Anakin stares at him, jaw tight, then turns and walks out, his shadow long across the Chancellor's marble floor. The tall windows look out over the city. The mood is solemn. The war has taken its toll. Anakin enters the chamber, his cloak still damp from the night air. The masters are seated. Mace, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, Ki-Adi-Mundi, CC-Teen. Obi-Wan turns slightly as Anakin approaches.
Anakin, I didn't expect to see you again tonight.
I didn't expect to be back either. But I needed to report this as soon as possible. He steps into the center of the chamber. The masters watch him closely. I've just come from the Chancellor's office. He offered me a seat on the Council. A pause. Mace Windu shifts slightly. Yoda's eyes close in thought.
We weren't notified of any such appointment.
That's because it wasn't a request. He said I've earned it. That I belong here.
Such authority is not his to give.
He doesn't care. It wasn't about protocol. It was about power. And leverage. There's a beat. Obi-Wan watches him, as if sensing something deeper.
What else did he say?
The room falls still. For a moment, no one speaks.
He asked you to betray the Jedi.
Yes, Master. Yoda's eyes open slowly.
Troubling this is. Darkness coils around him like smoke. Long suspected we have, but feared to confirm.
He made his move.
Anakin, what did you tell him?
I told him no. I won't be a spy. I won't help him tear this order apart. A faint nod from Plo Koon.
You made the right choice, Anakin. The harder path, but the right one.
If this is true, then the Chancellor is far more dangerous than we feared.
This crosses the line. He is no longer acting as just the Chancellor. He's trying to turn one of our own against us. Jedi against Jedi. It blindsided me as well. But he knows exactly what he's doing. He talks about peace, about saving the Republic. But he's twisting it, using fear Control. I don't believe he's finished either.
End the war he will not. Not with victory. With domination.
What are you suggesting? Arrest him?
If we move too quickly, he'll paint us as traitors. He still has the Senate. The people.
We have to move quickly. We have to make a move.
We must strike first.
Silence again. The council members exchange glances. The war is reaching its climax, but the real battle is now, here, in this chamber.
Much at stake there is. But trust in Skywalker. Earned it has been.
A moment of solemn agreement. Obi-Wan rises slowly from his seat and stands next to Anakin, arm around his shoulder.
Masters, if Palpatine was willing to do what Anakin is saying, he is no fool. He knows from Anakin's reaction that he would report this to us. He must be prepared in some way for us to make a move. I propose we give him what he wants. Let him think Anakin had a change of heart. I'm recommending Anakin for the rank of Master, and appointing him to the Jedi Council. On our terms.
The council reacts in stunned silence. Mace Windu looks at Obi-Wan, brow furrowed.
You're suggesting we play into the Chancellor's plan?
No. I'm suggesting we control the narrative before he does. Let Palpatine think his hand was successful.
And in doing so, we keep Skywalker in the room, while watching the Chancellor more closely than ever. We still do not know if he is the Sith Lord we've been looking for.
You want me to pretend to serve him?
Hard this path will be. Deception, not a Jedi's way. But blind we cannot remain.
He trusts you, Anakin. You may be the only one he speaks to freely now.
But what happens if he suspects the truth? If he senses our trap?
Then we move. Fast. We let Anakin report anything out of the ordinary. One wrong word from Palpatine, and we act.
Yoda's gaze turns sharply to Anakin. Warmth and tenderness, yet intense at the same time.
Conflicted you may feel, but vital your role is. Between the Jedi and darkness, you now walk.
Anakin breathes in, then exhales slowly. The weight is enormous, but so is the clarity. For the first time in a long time, the Jedi Council is not pushing him away. They're trusting him with something real. Then I'll play the part. If this is how we stop him, I'll do what's needed. A moment of unified stillness. The council nods. The plan is set.
Then let it be recorded. Anakin Skywalker is granted the rank of Jedi Master, and a seat on this council.
The chamber is quiet, save for the hum of the city below. Anakin sleeps with Padme next to him, curled on his side, the sheets tangled and soaked in sweat. The golden lights of the skyline bleed through the window, flickering like fire across his face. Anakin's brow furrows. His breath shortens. Anakin jerks upright, gasping for air. His eyes are wide, his chest heaves, gray light filters across his face. He runs a trembling hand through his hair and climbs out of bed. He walks to the window and stares out at the endless city lights. Beneath them, the galaxy turns. Wars rage. Shadows gather. No. Not her. Not this. I won't let it. He turns, his silhouette swallowed by the darkness behind him, before Padme greets him outside under the night skyrise. She asks him what's bothering him, but Anakin can't even begin to explain. His heart's still pounding from what he saw. Memories rush back to him. His mother, her dying, the Sand People. This vision was exactly like those of his mother. He brushes Padme to the side, saying it was nothing. She pushes him, asking how long it will be until they can fully trust one another. He tells her. She assures him none of it will come to pass, but it doesn't help Anakin in the slightest. If his visions before came to be, surely this will. He must act. The next morning, Anakin assumes his role as Palpatine's confidant and puts the Council's plan into motion.
Ah, my boy. You look horrible. Did you get enough sleep?
I appreciate your concern, Chancellor. It was a rough night. But I have good news.
Yes, I have already heard, my boy. I'm glad you came to your senses. A master, a part of the Jedi Council. It's exactly what you deserve.
Palpatine is secretly seething at this. His informants had already told him of the recent news. Convenient, perhaps too convenient. He decides he'll keep his eye on the boy, but can't fully trust him yet. Something feels off. Even worse, the Jedi giving Anakin the rank of Master and a seat on the Council takes away a vital component of his angle: distrust. He must find a new way in if he ever wishes to turn Anakin and have his apprentice rightfully at his side.
I do, however, question the authenticity of the Council's actions. What took them so long to do this? And why now, after our most recent conversation?
I had informed the Council of our conversation, Chancellor. They agreed with you wholeheartedly. They told me to thank you for opening their eyes. With the current state of the war, they hadn't taken the time to consider my achievements properly.
I'm glad I can help, Anakin. It's all I've ever wanted for you. You have the power to achieve a great many things. It's about time they saw it. But looking at you in this sad state concerns me. I haven't seen you this way for a while. Not since your mother and the incident with the Sand People.
In his sleepless state, Anakin can't help but take the bait. Although he doesn't trust Palpatine and understands he must have ulterior motives, nothing matters more to him than Padme. Anakin lowers his gaze, jaw clenched. The mention of his mother cuts deeper than he had expected. Palpatine watches him, carefully measuring every word. You don't know what it's like, losing someone that way. Feeling powerless. I failed her.
You didn't fail her, Anakin. The Jedi failed you. They left you alone with your pain. They turned their backs on your grief. On you.
Anakin tenses. A flicker of fear crosses his face. There's no one.
Anakin, you must think me a fool. People talk, especially on Naboo. A beautiful senator, a decorated Jedi. The whispers have traveled far, and Naboo's my home, after all.
Anakin turns sharply toward him, startled.
I've always known about Padme.
A beat. Palpatine's tone remains calm, non-judgmental.
And I never said anything because I understand. Love is not a weakness, Anakin. It's a strength, if wielded correctly.
Anakin exhales, worn down. A sliver of tension leaves his shoulders. She's everything to me. But I'm having visions of her dying in childbirth. I don't know how or why, but it feels real. Like what I saw with my mother. I can't go through that again. Palpatine steps forward slowly, his voice a whisper wrapped in velvet.
The Jedi fear power they don't understand. But there are other ways, Anakin. Ancient knowledge lost to them, but not to all.
What do you mean?
There are paths in the Force. Some consider them unnatural, but to those with the strength to walk them, they offer possibilities the Jedi refuse to acknowledge.
He studies Anakin's face, lets the idea settle just long enough.
If you're interested, there is a performance at the Galaxy's Opera House tonight. Something rarely shown. A Mon Calamari ballet. I find it clarifying.
Palpatine places a gentle hand on Anakin's shoulder.
Join me. We'll talk more in private. About life. About death. About the powers that transcend both.
Anakin says nothing, but the hesitation in his eyes has shifted. There's a curiosity now, a desperation, a need for answers. All right. I'll come.
Good, my boy. I think tonight you'll begin to understand.
The Chancellor turns away, hiding the quiet triumph dancing behind his eyes. Anakin turns to go back to his quarters. He can't shake this feeling, the feeling he needs to act on these visions, yet he knows he shouldn't trust the Chancellor. The conflict begins to rage in him. The Jedi, the Republic, or Padme. He doesn't have the answers, not yet, but he believes tonight will bring him clarity. If the Chancellor does know of the powers to save Padme, could he simply be a politician, or is he something more? If he is more, now he knows about Padme. How would the Council react? These thoughts toil around in Anakin's mind. Indecisiveness, concern, worry, fear. The vast chamber glows with a haunting, ethereal blue. Mon Calamari dancers glide through the columns of water in suspended tanks, their movements hypnotic, otherworldly. The music pulses like a heartbeat beneath the surface, slow, heavy, and tragic. Anakin enters the Chancellor's private viewing box. his cloak still damp from the walk in the Coruscanti rain. Palpatine sits alone, hands folded, eyes fixed on the stage below.
Beautiful, isn't it? The tragedy, the elegance of inevitability.
Anakin doesn't answer. He sits, visibly restless.
I've always found Mon Calamari art fascinating. Every moment holds meaning. Every breath a battle against nature.
You said we talk about other powers.
Yes. Yes, of course. That's why I asked you here.
He leans in slightly, keeping his tone hushed, conspiratorial, but serene.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
So... What happened?
He gave up. Only unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. It's ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a Jedi.
This was it. Anakin had him. A Chancellor talking about Sith Lords and powers of the dark side. Palpatine must be the Sith Lord they've been looking for. But powers to save someone from dying. He needed to know the truth. Anakin, now a master and having access to the restricted sections of the Jedi Archive, does just that. The grand doors slide open silently as Anakin steps into the Jedi Archives, now cloaked in shadow. Only the soft blue of ancient holocrons and data consoles lights the vast room. He moves past a row of illuminated data towers, each holding centuries of Jedi knowledge. As a master, no gatekeeper blocks his path now. Anakin stops before a console in the restricted section. Powers to save the ones you love from dying. He enters search terms into the terminal. Force life extension, midichlorian manipulation, Darth Plagueis, dark side healing techniques. No records found. Access denied. Content purged. Subject not recognized. Anakin's brow furrows. He tries again, using alternate phrasing. Preservation of consciousness, stopping death, resurrection, but each search yields nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. He grips the edge of the console. His breath deepens. Behind his eyes, flickers of Padme crying, calling out his name. The flames, her lifeless body. The baby, gone. They've hidden it. Or they never knew about it. He looks around the silent archives, suddenly feeling small, betrayed. He stands motionless, the hum of the temple's energy faint around him. Then, slowly, almost inevitably, he turns toward the exit, towards the city skyline beyond the temple spires. Anakin thinks to himself, this could be it. Could the Jedi really have no knowledge of these powers? Should he truly report Palpatine now, or should he confide in the Council? Anakin returns to his quarters. Another sleepless night of nightmares and visions of Padme pushes him to his breaking point. He can't stand idly by. He needs to know the truth of it all. But first, the Chancellor has asked to see Anakin. He has vital news.
Anakin, please come in. I have good news. We've located General Grievous. Our intelligence places him on Utapau.
The Council will be glad to hear it. We can finally end this war.
And you should be the one to end it, my boy.
That's not my decision to make. The Council will make that decision, Chancellor. I'll be sure to tell them the good news, though.
No, it never is it? For all your power, they keep you on a leash, all due to their supposed combined wisdom and knowledge.
Their combined wisdom and knowledge. The words toil around in Anakin's mind. For all their wisdom and knowledge, the archives contained nothing useful to him. He's reminded of it. I don't know about their wisdom and knowledge, but they have trusted me. I'm on the Council now, after all.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, my boy. This war has everyone on edge, including me.
I'll head to inform the Council now. Let them decide. Anakin makes his way to the Jedi Council, not sure what he should tell them. The whereabouts of Grievous is great news, but should he also tell them about Plagueis? Should he inform them of the Chancellor's vast knowledge of the dark side and potentially ruin his chances of saving Padme? Anakin is so tunnel-visioned on his thoughts he barely realizes Obi-Wan's presence before reaching the council chambers.
Anakin, are you all right? You barely noticed me. You seem conflicted. What's happened?
Of all the Jedi, Anakin trusts Obi-Wan the most. After all, he is Anakin's master, and the one who recommended him for the rank of master and a seat on the council. He places trust in him, and Anakin's at his breaking point. He can't help but blurt everything out. Master, I've been having visions. Exactly like the ones I had about my mother, just about...
It's okay, Anakin. I've always known about you and Padme. You know about my past with Satine. I understand more than you think.
You knew?
I suspected. But I never asked because I trusted you. And because I knew you were doing it for love, not power.
She's going to die, Obi-Wan. I've seen it, over and over. I see her screaming, alone, in childbirth, and I can't stop it. I couldn't save my mother, and now...
Anakin, these visions, they are not always certain. The future is always in motion. You know this.
Not this time. It feels different. Like it's already happening. Like I'm watching it unfold before it does. And there's more.
Go on.
The Chancellor. He told me about a Sith legend. A Sith Lord who had the power to prevent death. To save people he loved.
He told you this. Why would he?
He said it was possible to learn this power. Just not from a Jedi. I scoured the secret archives and couldn't find a single piece of information on anything he said. He spoke about the dark side, Obi-Wan. Freely. As if it were a tool, not an evil. I think he's the Sith Lord we've been searching for. A long silence. The wind outside the temple brushes against the glass. Obi-Wan looks stunned, but not surprised.
Anakin, this is something you must tell the Council. Now. This changes everything.
I know, but if they move too soon, we lose any chance of learning the truth, of learning how to save her.
That's not your burden to carry alone. We will face this together, but first we must go to the Council. We do this the right way.
All right, let's go. The circular chamber is quiet, the sun casting long shadows across the marble floor. Masters Yoda, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, and CC-Teen sit in their seats, some in person, some via hologram, as Anakin and Obi-Wan step into the center.
Skywalker, Kenobi, we were just convening.
Urgent, your presence feels.
Masters, I have two things to report. First, the Chancellor has revealed General Grievous's location. He's hiding on Utapau. The Council murmurs quietly amongst themselves.
Convenient timing. But still, a lead we cannot ignore.
If Grievous falls, the war could be over. I volunteer to go.
Trusted you are. Precise your judgment has always been. But wait to make a decision we must. Skywalker, please proceed.
There's more. And it's far more serious. The chamber quiets. The Chancellor spoke to me. Of the Sith. Of a legend, Darth Plagueis. He claimed there was a Sith who could cheat death. Who could prevent the ones he loved from dying. Yoda leans forward, eyes narrowing.
The tale of Plagueis. Known it is to some. Forbidden knowledge. Twisted. Dark.
He told you this willingly?
I've been having visions. Nightmares. People I love dying. And I'm powerless to do anything. He noticed I looked tired and got the information out of me. I believe he was speaking of himself. Or at the very least, that he was taught by this Sith. He knows far more about the dark side than any politician should.
Then it is confirmed. He is the Sith Lord we have been searching for.
And he's been at the center of the Republic this entire time. Masters, I wanted to wait. To gather more, to truly understand the truth. He spoke of powers I'm not sure even the Jedi fully understand.
That is not your burden. You did right, Skywalker. You brought this to us. But these visions, who were they of? How was he able to get this information out of you to attempt to manipulate you?
Visions aside, Anakin has been working undercover, as we asked. He exposed the Chancellor's true identity. We should discuss the particular details afterwards. The main question now is, what will we do with it?
If we move publicly, he'll rally the Senate against us. Paint the Jedi as traitors.
We must act, but act wisely.
Skywalker, your report changes everything. But we must consider your state of mind.
You think I'm compromised?
No one questions your loyalty, Anakin. But these visions, this connection, Palpatine will use them. He has used them already. You're vulnerable, Anakin.
I am not. I came to you. I could have kept this to myself, but I didn't.
Anakin's right. He's done everything we've asked. He's shown strength, not weakness. But Anakin, you must trust the Council's judgment in this.
I won't deny the strength you've shown, Anakin. But emotions cloud judgment. This man, this Sith, he has embedded himself in every level of power. One wrong move, and this war won't end. It'll evolve into something far worse.
Trust in Skywalker. Earned it has been. But lead this arrest. He must not.
So what? I just stand by? Let you handle it?
If you truly want to help, then stay here. We'll confront him. If he resists arrest, we'll do what must be done.
And what if he's not alone? What if he expects you?
Then we strike hard and fast. I'll take Masters Obi-Wan, Kalar, Fisto, and Teen with me.
And what of Grievous?
Not important, Grievous is. A distraction from the true root of this war. Remove Palpatine, and end the war we will.
A long pause follows. No one answers.
We confront Palpatine at sunset.
He looks around the chamber.
A test this is, young Skywalker. Of strength. Of loyalty.
Anakin, stay vigilant. Trust in us. And trust in the Force.
The fiery glow of Coruscant's sun cuts sharp shadows across the polished floor. Palpatine stands alone, gazing out over the skyline. The doors open. Mace Windu enters with Obi-Wan, Kit Fisto, Ajen Kalar, and CC-Teen. The tension crackles in the air. Palpatine notices the Masters come in, but keeps his gaze towards the skyline.
I take it this isn't a social call. In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you are under arrest, Chancellor.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
The Senate will decide your fate.
Palpatine slowly turns to face the Jedi strike team.
I am the Senate.
Palpatine takes out a hidden comlink to contact his Coruscant guard. With a maniacal grin stretching from ear to ear, he speaks the words.
Commander Fox, execute Order 66.
That's all he has time to contact, as Obi-Wan uses the Force to push the comlink out of his hand. The strike team ignite their sabers, not realizing what Palpatine has just set in motion. In a flash, a crimson blade ignites. Palpatine lunges forward, unnaturally fast. Kit Fisto and Ajen Kalar fall instantly. CC-Teen barely gets his blade up before he too is struck down. Windu and Obi-Wan hold their ground. The duel rages. Palpatine is powerful, more than any of them expected. But together, Windu and Obi-Wan begin to turn the tide. Anakin sits in the now dim council chamber, shadows stretching long across the floor. His thoughts race, visions of Palpatine screaming in pain, flashes of war, death, fire. Then his communicator buzzes.
General Skywalker, emergency transmission. Temple perimeter breached. Hostile clone units attacking Jedi.
Anakin's heart stops. He promised the council he would stay in the chambers, but this changes everything. He has to act. I'll be right there. Defend the temple.
Copy that, General.
The transmission ends. Anakin rises, his cloak billowing behind him as he races out of the chamber. The temple is under siege, from within. He bolts through the silent halls, lightsaber already in hand. Back in the Chancellor's chambers, Palpatine drives his blade forward in a flurry, shrieking, eyes alight with unnatural rage. But Obi-Wan is precise, deliberate. his Ceresu style absorbing each strike. Windu, fueled by righteous fury and the power of Vapad, presses in from the opposite side. Palpatine grits his teeth, spinning to catch Obi-Wan's attack with a savage strike, but Obi-Wan parries. Then Windu's blade slashes across the Chancellor's arm, forcing him to retreat. Palpatine stumbles backward. His hood falls. The Sith Lord is revealed, twisted, snarling, monstrous.
You fools! You know not what you do. Only I can stop what has been set in motion. Your precious Jedi temple shall suffer the consequences.
The temple courtyard explodes into chaos. Blaster bolts scream through the air. The crimson-armored Coruscant Guard, once trusted defenders of the Senate and Temple alike, turn without hesitation on the Jedi within. Younglings scream. Padawans shout. Knights and Masters ignite their sabers. Clone Commander Fox, blaster rifle raised, rallies his soldiers.
By executive order of the Supreme Chancellor, all Jedi are enemies of the Republic. Kill them all.
Jedi Master Sin Dralig is the first to rally a defense, deflecting shots and barking orders to rally the Temple Guard. Shaak Ti intercepts a wave of clones charging through the eastern corridor, slicing 2 down before force-pushing others back into a marble column that shatters on impact. Anakin rushes to the balcony as smoke rises from the temple grounds below. He sees Temple Guards being overwhelmed, clone fire pinning Jedi behind columns. He spins, races through the halls, his breath shortens, heart pounding, thoughts rushing through his mind.
This is what I feared. Is this the future I saw?
He crashes through a side corridor and intercepts a squad of Coruscant guards marching toward the archives.
General Skywalker, step aside.
Anakin narrows his eyes.
I'm still a Jedi. That makes me your enemy, doesn't it?
The clone doesn't hesitate. He raises his rifle, but Anakin is faster. Blue light snaps to life. The clones fall before they can fire. A group of younglings cower behind broken statues. Padawans stand in front of them, sabers activated but trembling. Just as a squad of clones turns the corner, Anakin leaps down from a balcony above, impaling 2 troopers and slashing a third with a cry of rage.
Master Skywalker, what's happening? It's the Chancellor. He's turned the clones on us. What do we do? You survive. Take the younglings and find cover. Trust in the Force.
The younglings nod, eyes full with fear and admiration. Anakin bolts ahead, deeper into the firestorm of clones attacking the temple. Inside the Jedi archives, Jocasta Nu and Luminara Unduli try to secure ancient holocrons and restricted scrolls. A massive explosion blows open the door. More Coruscant Guard flood in. Luminara dives into combat, flipping from table to table. Jocasta sets off a defensive mechanism. Turrets lower from the ceiling and begin firing stun blasts at any unauthorized troopers. Suddenly, a low whoosh. Anakin crashes through the burning debris, cutting down clones from behind.
Skywalker, the restricted section. Don't let them destroy it.
Anakin nods grimly and rushes toward the back, where another wave of clones is planting thermal detonators near the holocron vault. He slices down all of them with brutal precision. As the fighting settles, Anakin, Shaak Ti, and Sin Dralig regroup near the central spire. The smoke is clearing. The Coruscant Guard remnants are retreating, leaderless without direct orders.
We held them, but only just.
This wasn't war. This was execution.
Anakin, blade still in hand, stares at the bodies, Jedi and clone alike. He collapses to one knee, exhausted.
The destruction. I can't believe he'd make it come to this. Any news on the Jedi strike team?
We've heard nothing from them yet.
Anakin's face lights up with concern. He gets up without a word and rushes to the Chancellor's quarters. Palpatine lashes out with lightning, knocking Obi-Wan back, but Mace Windu advances through the storm, his blade absorbing the energy.
You've lost.
Palpatine, snarling, drops to one knee. Suddenly, the door slides open. Anakin bursts in, face grim and battle-worn, smoke and ash on his robes.
Stand down!
Obi-Wan turns, surprised.
He's too dangerous to be left alive.
Anakin, please. They're going to kill me. I'm your only chance to save Padme.
A beat. The Rome holds its breath. Then, Anakin deactivates his saber and walks toward Windu.
He's done horrible things. Seeing the dead bodies in the temple, it's horrible. But killing him in cold blood, we're no better than him.
Windu hesitates, then reluctantly lowers his blade. Obi-Wan keeps his ignited. Palpatine screams in fury and surges forward, but Anakin reacts first, igniting his saber and impaling him straight through the chest. Palpatine gasps, eyes wide, lightning sputtering at his fingertips.
Have it your way. Padme could never be saved by a monster.
Palpatine crumples to the floor, dead. In the distance, Jedi shuttles begin to land. Survivors return from missions. Reinforcements arrive from the Outer Rim. The Jedi Temple stands still, bruised and broken, but standing. The fires in the Jedi Temple had long since been extinguished, but the scars remain, in stone, in spirit, and in history. The Senate met in emergency session days later, its chamber filled with tension, with Palpatine's Sith identity exposed, and the surviving Jedi presenting evidence of his crimes. The Supreme Chancellor's power unraveled quickly. Commander Fox and the Coruscant Guard were detained. Emergency powers were revoked. Democracy, though shaken, was not lost. The Jedi Order, though battered, endured. A memorial now stands in the temple's western courtyard, a tribute to the Jedi lost to Order 66, and a silent reminder of how close the Republic came to falling into shadow. Anakin Skywalker stands before the remaining members of the Jedi High Council. He is older now, not in years, but in burden.
You saved us, Skywalker. But more than that, you saved yourself.
Yoda, sitting solemnly in his chair, nods slowly.
Heavy was the choice, but right it was.
Obi-Wan, at Anakin's side, smiles with pride, but also quiet sadness.
It's over, Anakin.
Anakin doesn't answer immediately. His gaze turns to the skyline, where the sun sets behind the ruins of the Senate building, casting the city in gold and ash.
No. It's just beginning.
That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to join us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.